Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. You're joining us in video number 3 of a 4-part series. We're doing our little monkey Stamp-A-Stack. Now, there are class packets available to follow along with this class while supplies last. Head over to KitchenTableStamper.com/shop to see if any packets still remain. We are in video number 3. Our first video, we did our getting started. We stamped our monkeys, we cut our designer series paper to make this stack of cards. And then in video number 2, we did our first design, which was just swinging by to say hi. And that's so sweet. This Stamp-A-Stack makes 3 of this design, all a little bit different. And then now in this video, we're going to do this I'm Bananas About You. Makes 3 of this design, all a little bit different. And then in our final video, our 4th video, we will make our last I'm Bananas About You. And our Stamp-A-Stack makes 1 of this design. All right, so you might be wondering at this point, if you're new, why does the first card make 3 and the second card make 3, but the third card makes 1? Well, that's because of our Wonder recipe. These are 1-sheet Wonder cutting diagrams. When we took our designer series paper, the inked and tiled from the kit, we chose 3 pieces that we liked and cut it according to the Wonder recipe. So in our first video, we used the 3x4 pieces, we used the 2x4 pieces, but we modified them. And now in this video, we're going to use these 2 3/4 by 3-inch pieces and these 1 1/4 by 3-inch pieces. All right, so you cut the paper into all the pieces, then you deal the pieces out onto the card bases and make your cards. It's really kind of a fun way to get started, especially if you're one that has trouble cutting that designer series paper. It's so beautiful and it's so perfect. Sometimes you just don't want to cut it, right? All right, so in our kit, you're going to get 80 pieces of the neutrals sequins, the metallic ones. I love these self-adhesive sequins. You're going to get a 5-yard spool of petal pink cotton ribbon. You'll also get a 1/4 package of that inked and tiled designer series paper and your card kits. The card kits come to you with your cards scored in envelopes and all of the basic die cutting pieces done for you. So let's take our Lagoon card kits, put aside our pool party one for our last design, and we're going to stamp the background. I love stamped or embossed backgrounds layered with designer series paper. So we've got our pieces here. This is what we did for you. We cut the decorative circle, and this is a punch. We punched this one for you from Pool Party using the decorative circle and then cut it in half. We've also done the die cutting for you here from the tailor-made tags dies. So this is your second to the biggest bracket top tag cut from Very Vanilla. We've got a 8.5 by 5.5 card base. It's scored up 4 1/4, and this one is Lost Lagoon. And the last thing we've done for you is we've done your punching for your flowers and die cutting for your tagos. So you'll have a little bag in the front of your packet with those tiny pieces so that your envelope doesn't eat them. So we'll need a tago for each card that was also cut with the tailor-made tags dies, and a flower in the medium size for each card, and a flower in the small size for each card. Now we cut the flowers using the Petal Park Builder punch. That's a medium and a small flower from that punch. All right, so let's get our bone folder and fold these cards and stamp our backgrounds. We're going to do very similar to what we did for our petal pink background. I like when the card set repeats elements from design to design. It really holds the set together, makes it a beautiful set, but it also, besides making a beautiful set, helps to make cohesive and easy design choices. So we're gonna do the same kind of background we did. We got that ferny leaf, and we're gonna stamp in the corner, upper left, lower right. But this time, we're going to stamp upper left with 2 leaves and lower right with 3. So opposite of our petal pink. And we'll do that with all 3 of our Lost Lagoon card bases. Let's get the Lost Lagoon ink out of here. And now you'll notice this pretty little pool party element here. That is our half circle. We're going to go ahead and texture it with one of the new 3D Basics embossing folders. Now this is an online exclusive product. You can check out Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com, and then when you're there, click shop, and then on the left side menu in the Stampin' Up store, you want to click on the online exclusives to find these products. They're not in any catalog. These 3D Basic folders, it's a set of 3 awesome folders that really will do the job for embossing in any project. They'll be a great addition to your collection. I'm going to emboss these, and you could do all 3 at one time, but by the magic of television, my other 2 are already done. I just want to show you though how easy it is to take a simple little shape made from scraps and really add some impact. All right, let's get this guy out of here, and we're going to add our designer series paper to the card bases now. Here's where we deal out the papers. So we've got our Lost Lagoon cards. And we're going to take our papers, we're going to deal them out so that no card has 2 of the same design and no card looks exactly the same. So we've got 2 each of 3 different colors. So just start out by laying out one of the large rectangles and then alternate one of the small rectangles. So nothing is the same. There they are. Now we're going to go ahead and glue those on with liquid glue. But when you're gluing them on with the liquid glue, you want to be careful to remember your little texture bit here. We're going to add glue right on the top edge of our texture bit, and then I'm going to do glue on my designer series papers. Now this is why I use liquid glue, because I have the option now to layer these and kind of slide them around, make sure I like the position. So we're going to add our larger rectangle and our smaller. There should be a little gap up top. The tag is going to cover that. And then we're going to bring in a little bit of glue on the front and the back, our beautiful texture circle. And just pop that little guy so that it peeks out from under. When you've got a position that you like, go ahead and burnish down. Let's do that for the other copies of our card. All right, so I've got all my designer series papers laid out, my little texture bit, and then I just want to show you something here. So look, this one got opposite papers on this copy. This one is very different on this copy. So each one of these can really be very unique, even though we're repeating some of the layouts, right? All right, so there's our card bases. Now let's take a look at our stamping. We did our stamping in video number 1. So if you missed that getting started video, check it out. We stamped and punched a monkey using pecan pie. We stamped and punched monkey's face, very vanilla. So let's go ahead and glue those together. This is where our little monkey can kind of come alive. Cute, right? All right, then we punched some jungle leaves, these little pointy kind, and we're going to glue them together. Just a little dab of glue at the end there. Awesome. Now we've got our little fern leaf. This is Lost Lagoon, that's Pool Party. For each card we made 3 bananas. We stamped it and punched it. Showed you a fun way to get lots of bananas out of a little space. We also did our open banana pieces. So we did our banana fruit with very vanilla, our banana peel with crushed curry. Cut them. Now we're going to assemble. Got our little open banana now. So cute. That's my favorite part of this stamp set. I know everybody likes the monkey. I like the open banana. It is adorable. We're We're going to glue the open banana to Monkey's hand. So cute. All right, now let's slide our tag in here. We're going to add the little tag O to the top. I use a little liquid glue for this. And just drop your O right on your tag. And then we can go ahead and put some ribbon through the top of that tag. I've got my petal pink cotton ribbon here. I'm going to pull a length but leave it on the spool. Thread your tag from the front to the back, and you want to pull about a length, give or take about the length of your hand, so palm to fingers. And then you'll loop up from the front that's still attached to the spool and swoop over the top, tuck, and pull. Now you've got a bow, and it might not be perfect, but it's pretty darn close. The ears are up, the tails are down, hold the center of the knot, and just pull until you get loops about the size that you want. And then when you've got loops about the size that you want, then you'll pull the ears to tighten, and then trim the ribbon away from the spool and cut off this frayed edge. And that's a lot for me, but that's all we're going to throw away because we kept it attached to the spool. So you'll minimize the waste. Speaking of minimize the waste, I've got the very end of my mini dimensionals here. Let's cut a couple of strips in a chunk or two. Get some dimensional on the back of our monkey. I love this dude. He's so cute. All right, so I'm going to do a nice big chunk on his back, one on his leg, or his tail, one on his leg, maybe a little strip on the banana. Be careful about the banana because the adhesive is going to go off the edge of the tag, so be careful where you stick this guy for a little bit until you get him on the card. Add that little guy. Haha, he's so cute. Now we can go ahead with the leaves. Add some glue, kind of a jungle canopy here, jungle floral arrangement. So cute. All right, let's slide aside for just a minute and bring in our Stampin' Pierce mat and some Calypso Coral ink. I've got my little flowers. We're going to do like we did for our first video. We're going to stamp over the edge of these flowers, so protect your mat. Got a stamp here with 2 vines on it. We're going to put these little vines in Calypso Coral ink and then stamp the pattern on the flowers, which gives them a really nice texture. It's a super easy way to just jazz up an ordinary scrap, because that's what that is. You use your scraps, you make these flowers, jazz it up with just a little bit of stamping, and it really makes a cool embellishment. So we're going to take your pick tool here, and I like to use this putty end to give our flowers some shape. So pop it on your Stampin' Pierce mat and press down in the center of each flower. And now we can add these flowers onto the tag. You can use glue dots here, and then you don't have to wait for the glue to set up. But liquid glue is great too. You just drop those little flowers right on the tag. All right, let's get our other cards all caught up. Aren't they cute? There's our monkeys. Now we can go ahead and adhere the monkeys and the bananas to the cards. So we've got liquid glue here, and we're going to be very careful because our dimensional didn't roll or go over the side too bad there. That's good. I'm going to add our tag. And the tag is going to be kind of at a Little jaunty angle, just like everything else. Cute, huh? All right, let's get the other tags on. It's time to stamp our sentiments. I've got I'm Bananas About You, some Memento ink, and we're gonna get that Stampin' Pierce mat back in here. We got a photopolymer stamp, so we want to get a nice impression. Again, we're gonna stamp our grading right on the card base. This is always a very hard thing for me to do, so just take your time. If you're like me, done so much, don't want to mess it up. You're going to use that, take advantage of that clear. You want it to follow the angle of your designer series paper so that it runs right across the bottom underneath the designer series paper. Let's do that for all three. Bananas About You, baby. Speaking of bananas, let's add some bananas and sparkles to each of these cards. Got my little punched bananas and some liquid glue. I like to do these guys to keep the liquid glue. Just add a generous amount and then touch the bananas together. And you can kind of share the glue. That way when you put the banana down on the card, it's not going to ooze out liquid glue everywhere. And one more banana down here by I'm Bananas About You. Cute. We've got our sequins here, and I'm going to again mix up all the different colors. We've got in this pack a beautiful copper, a opaque silvery white, gold, and kind of a brown bronze color. We're going to do every one of them just a little bit different because the designer series papers are shuffled. We do different embellishments, and each card has its very own personality. All right, so I'm doing 2 on the flower centers, 1 big, 1 little, and 3 kind of sprinkling down from there. That's gold, and then copper, and this time around we're gonna do the pearly white. So good. I'm Bananas About You. I'm so bananas about you. I'll be back in the 4th and final video with one more I'm Bananas About You card. If you missed the Getting Started video or design number 1, just swinging by to say hi, check out the quick links below. If you've got any questions, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. To shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. And to see if there are still class packets available for our little monkey Stamp-a-Stack, buzz over to kitchentablestamper.com/shop and then click class packets in the right hand filter. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.